That's going. YouTube's up. TikTok is up. All right, Talent Talk.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, good. I'm trying to get everyone's audio kind of set normal. So, up, running. I think that's where I want to be. Trying.
Camera's working today too.
What are you doing? What's going on?
And your camera's working today. That's crazy.
I took my other camera back. They're not using it. So I'm using two different cameras.
Cool.
So there.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm curious if my Streamlabs is working. So I'm trying Streamlabs on my phone, so I'm curious. I'm going to look it up really quick while we're waiting. Stream Manager, or if it's just being stupid and not doing it. So, because I could be technically on TikTok right now too. I don't know. It says I'm offline. Broadcasting. Shit. Exactly am I broadcasting to? Trying to figure this out. Okay. Fuck it. That's where I'm at with it. Well, here's the thing. It actually showed that it changed like everything that I did on Streamlabs. So it shows it on my Twitch, but it's not it's showing that I'm offline somehow. I don't know why. So, am I? I'm showing I'm good on my side.
Yeah.
It's just me. I broke it. Oh crap. All right, let me try. I'm gonna try something really. Stop. Go live. Next. Next. Go live.
Go.
All right. Oh, great.
Are you gonna let me go live or the dog shit?
I'll just get back to the
Oh,
shower.
you're fine. All good. Oh, that's my shit.
Okay. So, wanted to really
Let me figure this out.
Josh,
Yo,
this other one real fast.
what?
You're doing something. I don't know.
I'm not jumping on that. We're live. Like, no. I'm just trying to figure out why Streamlabs is being a bitch.
I give up.
No, it doesn't make. That's the thing. It just doesn't make sense. And because TikTok has to be a horrible, awful thing, I could probably open TikTok right now on my computer.
You did not follow.
No, we're live.
Oh, okay. Well, then we are what we are. Do your thing.
Well, currently I'm trying to fix everything that's on here because it shows that I'm live, but I'm not live on some stuff. So it is what it is.
Just a few
Oh.
light reps and then we'll hit the showers.
I'll fix it as I go along.
Hey.
All right. Hi, kids. How's everyone doing?
Go.
So we're gonna try something a little new this week, and give it a go. And we're gonna try it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it works out, it works out. That's the whole point. Is we're trying to guinea pig. We're trying to make sure that everyone gets enough time to talk about what they need to talk about this week, but also not get super long winded on some stuff. Also, like we do because we're scatterbrained as hell, all of us, and we get off topic really fucking easy. Let's be honest. So not trying to be a jerk about anything to anyone whatsoever. It's just something that we could do in 30 minutes ends up being in 2 hours long. So I just want to put that out there in the beginning of all of this, just to nip it in the butt. No one's upset, no one's angry, no one's anything. I just
when we start to hear somebody going off track, either me or Chach or
we're gonna mute you.
Will put
We're probably gonna mute you, and take no offense to that.
yes, that we will. So, but we don't want me and Chach interrupting people, thinking that gives everybody else the green light to interrupt people in the middle of them talking. If me, Chach, or Telanium interrupt somebody, it's purely just because we're trying to get the conversation back on track. We're trying to keep everybody on topic. And if there is something that you do feel like you need to talk about, and I'm saying this towards everybody, even the people who are not here, like Bow Hunter, he can watch this another time. If there is something that you need to talk about, we can always, do it. Me and Chach call each other every day.
Yeah, we literally, that we're here for everyone, period.
So if
we will talk to you.
To the topic, we'll probably cut you off. However, if you need to talk about something and you'd like to do it in a group setting, we do group calls every day, and we will talk to you right after this podcast.
Yep.
All right, that's all. That's all
we
needed to get out.
That's all we had to get out. I knew you and I were on the same page, regardless. So like we just had to talk it out. That's all. So now that we got everything out, of the way. We love it. Let's get to the nitty gritty. This week's topic is how do you cope? How do you cope with your mental health? How do you cope with your anxiety, your stress, just the day-to-day bullshit in your life?
Do we keep this PG?
Hell.
All right. Well, I smoke a lot of weed.
Good choice.
Like a lot, and I don't smoke any flower because that shit's for babies. I smoke all wax, like concentrates here. Now that I'm clothed. One sec.
Cocks out for Harambe, like.
Yo.
Looks like earwax. That's disgusting. Hey, you do you though. Whatever helps you cope, and that's the thing I think too. Is like whatever helps you cope in life, to get your shit on level, do it. Like legitimately, like Carly and I were talking about this tonight, actually, because she's like, "Hey, what's your topic tonight?" I'm like, "This, what's up?" And she's like, "I help other people," and that's literally how she copes. She's like, sometimes my life is a fucking dumpster fire, but you know what? Me helping other people with their needs or just like being the ear to listen to someone else, that is a coping mechanism for a lot of people. That's me. That's honestly why Carly and I get along so well. I mean, Alan, you know that. Yeah. You see it first fucking hand. Like we're constantly helping people do this, that, or the other. And that's how we cope with shit. Our lives could be a fucking dumpster fire right at that moment, but guess what? We're still going to go help someone. So I'd love to hear. In my camera, it's these two.
I got this. I do music. That's what I usually do. Just
elaborate a little bit on that.
I usually just play. If I'm feeling bad, I either listen to music or I play music. Hello, Rob.
There he is.
We're just talking about. What's up?
What a scarf or an ascot.
It is a pastina. Don't get it twisted.
That's fair.
Okay, well, hold on a second, Selenium. Go on.
Just music. I make music. I listen to
Yeah,
music.
but do you like use your emotions?
I mean, I just play stuff that makes me feel good. Like,
Yeah.
Like when you're creating music, like what's going on through your head?
There you go.
what sounds good? What would I listen to? It just helps me focus on something that, like, if I'm having a bad day, I'll just be like, I want to make a song, and I just played.
What happened? So what happened on those days that you just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go. I need to go write some music."
Sure. Having a shit time, and I'm not feeling good. Like, the day probably sucked. People sucked, and so I just write music.
And I mean, that's one hell of a coping mechanism. I think Bob could chime in on that one pretty easily. On that's probably where his headspace is too. Vaughn, besides the wax, how are you cope? Sorry.
I purchase things that I don't need.
Retail therapy.
Yeah, on accident though. It's nothing like clothes. No. It's like motorcycles, jet skis.
Oh Jesus Christ! Big ticket items.
I've got a boat in the back shop that I still have yet to fix. It's got 3 big ass motors on it. It's got metal fishing lines. It's a deep sea fishing boat. I don't know why I have it.
I mean, I see nothing wrong with that. I see that as a project for SCLX to get together.
Well, I didn't say that part, but that's what I said when I got it. I know how to do everything.
There you go.
All right, and yeah, it's got like. Anyways, topic. So yeah, I do a lot of that. Recently, I've been just thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and then thinking some more because what I've been doing has not been working. Um, it leads to a circle. It's a circle. What I'm doing, it's an endless cycle, and it doesn't have an end. That's the beauty of it, right? So I'm
Yep.
trying to figure out how people who are 40 made it through their 30s without hanging themselves, thinking that, oh my God, I'm no longer in my 20s. Whereas, like, in 20 more years, I'll be in my 50s, just like my fucking dad was when he was raising me. You see what I'm saying? But
Yep.
you know, you're 2 years away from being 40, less than that at this point for you. And
Oh, nice.
There's no need to dox ages here, bud.
Well, yeah, throw that around. Goddamn.
but you're somebody. You're actually my closest link to anything that I can relate to in that regard. I like being with you. Rob is my closest
No.
friend, but I like being close to you because it gives me hope that when I'm older, even though I play video games, people won't look at me like I'm useless. People won't, you know, life will continue, and I will find a way to work through all of life's woes. And, you know, including, I also work to keep my mind off of things, and that is the most unhealthy thing you can do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, all in all, what I would have to say is, weed is not a coping mechanism. It's a crutch, and everything else that you use to cope with anything is also a crutch. And the proper way, in my opinion, to cope with things is to use your brain and to rationalize them to yourself. Why did they happen? There was a meaning behind it, though it may not have been some extraterrestrial force like God or whatever you want to call him. It may not have been him. It may have just been the way things should be, working out the way things should work. You know.
True.
So yeah, you know, it is what it is, man. We all will find our way, and if we don't, well, that's why we're here, isn't it? So
That's exactly why we're here.
So that way, that other thing, you know, can get rid of that and just be like, well, there is only one option for when you need help, and it's to go and find somebody to converse with and to exchange ideas and thoughts with. and to rationalize things. There shouldn't be the other way of I don't even want to breathe life into it. You know, so
No, I
this is
get
where
it.
we're at. Yeah, this is where we're at. You know, helping is it's a skill to do without crutches.
Yep.
But once you've mastered that skill, boys and girls, and days and whatever else is, once you master that skill, once you and I appreciate the laughter, but it was not a joke. I'm being serious because people are what they are nowadays, and so whatever. Once you've mastered that, you can conquer anything. You can become anything. Once you can go through life and handle all of life's woes and all of life's problems without having to turn to my weed or without having to turn to the bottle or without having to turn to the pill or anything else, that's when you can handle life, and that's when you can take him or her or they are hit by the balls and fling him the way that you want him to go instead of life flinging you the way that it wants you to go. You know?
No, accurate.
And you all have it in you. Don't let anybody tell you you don't. I don't care if you have bipolar disorder, if you're anorexic, if you're bulimic, or if you're anything ick. You can learn to cope with that in itself. There may not be a rationalized explanation for it, but you can cope with it, and you can make it, and you can make it your own, and you can make life your own. And no matter what, you've got this. And that's it. I'm out.
I'm not out, but I'm here.
Drops Mike.
Drops Mike. Perfect. Beautiful. Love it. Absolutely love that.
And I can keep going. I cut it. I cut it because I need to hear Rob talk, and I need to hear Danny talk. And if Danny has her boyfriend with her, I would love to hear him talk as well. I can't hear you, Danny. You need to speak up.
He most likely won't, because he's not,
That's fair.
That's fair. But we would love to at least say hi to him if he's game. If not, just tell him that we say hi.
Say hi.
Hey, my buddy. It's nice to see you, as per usual. How are you doing on this fine evening?
He's already gone.
Yeah.
You didn't say hi the right way.
So me,
Danny's there. Yup, Danny.
I listen to a lot of music, like variety of music based on my mood. I vape, not really healthy, but it's what works for right now. And as Swan said, I'm technically a baby because I smoke flower.
Everyone has their thing.
You just hear a little.
I was laughing at Spawn's tee-hee.
Everyone has their thing. Everyone has something that they need, something that they do. It's nothing to you. That's the important part.
No, she's saying that wax is flour. It's the concentrated version of flour. We smoke the same thing. She just smokes the
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't saying that it's not our. It's our thing. It's just that she does the lighter version.
Yeah. It's like a Bud Light, but not.
Danny smokes Spawn weed, and Spawn smokes electric weed.
Yeah, it's back on topic. Danny, go.
Boogie woogie woogie.
I use fidget toys, and I eat a lot of food. That's how
I mean,
what type of food's your favorite?
my favorite food is sushi.
dumb.
Nice.
What kind of sushi?
California roll or the California salad roll.
Sushi light. Extreme light. It's still delicious, don't get me wrong. I fucking love California rolls too. But
I think personally my favorite is yellowtail nigiri.
that is yummy. Spicy tuna.
Yes. Oh yeah.
We could go to.
Okay. That the counseling aspect of this was actually one of my possible career paths. Which is why I was so which is why I was so fervent on it earlier.
I get it. Don't worry. Like I completely understood where you're coming from. Trust me. I'm like I try to get it in.
What's the best fix?
Lobert.
Wait, was Danny done? I didn't catch her ending.
Yeah, sushi was her coping.
Oh, well, you have something.
Word. So as per usual, I'm just gonna freestyle this, free ball it, if you will.
Of course.
I am drunk
Always free ball.
because why be safe?
Yeah. Safe.
So like one of my favorite ways to cope with the bull crap of everyday life that I underutilize a lot is just screaming into the void. That's definitely one of my favorite things. But I definitely relate with what I heard of what Dallin was talking about with making music. Like my last album I made over the 9 months following like my really bad breakup from a year and a half ago, and or a year and a couple months ago, and that whole album is essentially like a breakup album. At least I tried to make it sound like one. I don't know if it's trying to be like a dancey, sad breakup album.
You're canceling
But
your Taylor Swift, really.
what's that? What was that?
As a just really channeling your inner Taylor Swift with that one.
Yeah. Or
Clearly.
Dispute, rather.
Yeah.
Going for big Avicii meets La Dispute kind of vibes. I'm just kidding. I hate Avicii. Rip, but also like his music was not good in my opinion. Anyway, listening to music is a big coping mechanism for me. Like, I listen to so much different music because like it just every artist, every album, every song I listen to can evoke like a different kind of mood, and can either like keep me in one certain emotion or uplift me into a totally different one, or even bring me down into like a real bummer. I listen to all different types of genres, all different types of bands and artists and singers and songwriters and composers and all, instrumentalists, whatever. Because I love music and I'm a huge music nerd, and B, because there's something about my mood I'm either trying to enhance or dull. Like especially like in sobriety, like where my coping mechanism used to be to like smoke PCP and meth and get really drunk. Now my coping mechanisms are like, oh, I'll listen to some Animal Collective or Modest Mouse or the Disco Biscuits if I'm feeling like really in like a really like good fun vibe. Or if I'm really sad, I'll listen to like fucking La Dispute or Bon Iver or James Blake or any of those like really sad like hipster indie artists. It's a wide range of things that I listen to. Is the bottom line. Smoking cigarettes is a big one as well. I definitely smoke more cigs than I should, and it's a super unhealthy coping mechanism. One that I do not recommend to anyone. Nicotine is bad, and I wish I never started smoking cigs, but here we are.
Such is life, though.
Yeah, I want to quit so bad. I'm so over it. I'm so over spending $14 on a pack.
Ouch. I forget that you're in where you're at. Yeah.
I think California is the only other state with as high of cigarette prices as New York.
Yeah, that's a little steep for my blood.
Yeah, it's not even that like the tobacco costs that much; it's just the tax that New York has on tobacco.
Yeah, that's stupid high.
Insane, dude. It's so insane. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I'm dissociating, I will use some tapping techniques and square like to like bring myself out of the dissociation if I catch it in time. If I'm having an anxiety attack, I will put ice cubes on my wrists, or if I'm in the shower and I start having my panic attack, I'll switch the water to like freezing cold to bring me out of it because that'll like shocks my system into like and it brings me back and all those like squaring up my breathing really helps. If I'm having like a really bad day, like I'll like force my like this is really like if I'm having like a really bad day and I'm like really bummed out about whatever like anything, um sometimes I'll just try to like force myself to smile and like look at memes but not like doom scroll, if you know what I mean. Like find some like real funny content that really just like gets me going and just try to find things to like cheer me up. But like making and listening to music are two of the top things, as well as like using classic like therapy techniques like rhythmic tapping and squaring up my breathing and using cold stuff to shock me to not being panicked and anxious. So that's my spiel, and thanks for listening. It's all better than drugs.
Everything's better than drugs.
Yes.
How are things going with your dad?
I can't say that it's better than crack because I've never done crack, but I also would not recommend smoking.
But you can imagine that it's better.
If I had to,
I should try crack.
No, you shouldn't.
No.
I usually implore everyone to go out and have their own experience, Talon, but on this, I will not.
On this one,
The only thing that I'll ever recommend you doing is a little bit of shroomies and maybe some weed. I mean, it depends on who you are.
I shot heroin, and I won't even smoke crack. Just put that out there.
Yeah.
that's saying something, I think.
That's a big statement. Big
Yeah.
Ones I will do, maybe if I ever given the opportunity, is shrooms and weed.
Oh, well, there you go.
Spicy topic to.
Wait, why don't say that?
Huh?
Tyler, what did you say?
It'd be like calling the kettle black at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Me telling him not to try and experience things like that would not be. He knows.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I can't recommend psychedelics enough. Like, yes, I have 4.5 years sober from all mood and mind altering substances, including psychedelics. But some of the best times of my life I have had on LSD or mushrooms or DMT or MDMA, and
Hey.
they have been some of the most uplifting and thrilling and just like happy, joyous, free moments of my entire life. So if you have the opportunity to try any of those substances in a make sure you're practicing harm reduction. Make sure you have a drug testing kit to make sure that you are taking what you are told you're taking.
Yes.
Harm reduction is the name of the game. Make sure you're sourcing your valuables from trusted sources,
Yeah.
and make sure you're testing everything that you're buying.
Yep.
But Tyler, you were saying why before we interrupted you. Why only shrooms and weed?
I've been told they're the safer ones, and not like very addictive at all, unless mixed with other things. So
Yeah.
be safe.
Well,
Space it out a lot.
yeah. Do you have any experience with anything? Ignore your dad.
A little bit of
He does semi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I know these things. I'm not stupid.
I'll tell you this. So the first thing I would say to my son or daughter when they were your age if they approached me was, I don't want it in front of my face. I don't want you flaunting it, but I would honestly rather you be here than at that dumbass's house or that dumbass's house or that dumbass's house. You know, pointing to each one of your friends. You know, but just keep a lid on it. You know what I mean? Other than that, you're smart when you say that you don't want to explore because yeah, I've never taken any pills. I've only taken maybe a handful of I've taken Xanax one time. Don't do it. It's a teleporter. And yeah, no, the only safe two are that. And you know what? I'm gonna say this: acid and DMT are also the way to go. But I don't recommend that until you're older and you have a grip on your emotions and you've really worked through your mental instabilities.
Just not to do those two.
Let me
That
allow me to interject real quick. With DMT, when you're ready to smoke DMT and have that experience, it will find you.
I think
There's
that
no need
worked.
to go search it out.
That is so not true. It is one of the hardest things to find. He obviously didn't grow up in Michigan. No, you go out and you
Trust me
find it.
when I tell you, when you are ready to take DMT, the right person will find you and will show you the.
Well, that didn't happen for me, Rob, because I didn't stay.
I will show you the world.
Well, I was just really into having fun, and the way that I found those people was by introducing myself to them.
You know, Spot, maybe you just weren't ready to smoke DMT when you did it.
Oh, bro, it opened me up. It's the whole reason why I'm the way that I am today. It's
Or-
the reason.
Or hear me out on this one.
I'm busting your balls.
Don't. Just don't. It's probably safer to just not do any of the shits. Let's be honest. Smoking weed anymore is just, if not safer, than going out and drinking.
yeah, it's a very normal thing.
Also, be remiss to say, just a little disclaimer: I am not suggesting to a minor to go and take certain illegal substances in no way, shape, or form.
Hey
I am
guys,
just relating.
stop it.
No comment. I have no comment.
We got way too off topic. Guys.
I mean, I know when I started doing that shit, I was younger than Talon.
We worked through it all.
So-
Yeah.
Hey, we're doing good.
I think we're talking about coping mechanisms, right?
Yeah, and this is
We talked through it all.
yeah, we talked through coping. This is still a coping aspect of things.
Guys,
We're good. We're good. We are staying on topic.
We're on top of this right now. Don't you worry.
Yep. We kept everyone in line.
Yep.
Mr. Fusion has joined us.
Shotch's face. I watched Shotch's face when to know.
Yep. You knew. I was trying to get actually TikTok to work on my phone, and I figured out how to stream capture on Twitch currently. So anyone that is probably curious why it's just me on here, it's because I have everyone else here
It's all good.
that everyone can see, and we're on the YouTubes streaming everything. Because TikTok hates everyone and everything. So instead of just giving us a live button on the PC to stream on everything, we now have to find stupid ass ways to. So here we are now, God.
Shotch, can I
yo.
interrupt you real fast?
You can always interrupt.
I want to get Twisted a shot.
Yep, I was getting to that. I was literally just explaining. So, Mr. Twisted, Mr. Fusion up there, how do you cope? How do you cope with your daily bullshit?
Oh man.
Depression, anxiety, stress.
So that's
We hit all of it.
I guess that's like one thing key about me, I guess, because there's been reasons why I haven't attempted to join on this. I want to hear everyone's stories and stuff like that, but the more reason is because the way I cope is like I do it all in my own brain. You know what I mean? Like if I'm having a terrible day, dude, then like it'll just go all up here, and then like I'll just figure it out in my head. Like I'm not one of the people or the type of people like many people are who like express when they're feeling down or just express anything. I'm more of a person that, like, if you look at me and shit, like, I'm always a happy person, a genuine person. But if I'm like going through like a cycle of stress or anything that I'm dealing with in life, you could look at me and like I'll look like I'm not even here type of thing. It's like more of the fact like I have no emotion. And so like I'll just look at you with a straight face. But the way I cope that has really helped me. So before when I always got pissed off and shit, dude, I'd punch everything. Like I'd punch my car as hard as I could. I remember actually, I broke 2 phones in like 3 months because like I'd just get so pissed off and I'd like chuck it across the room. One time it got
We're
stuck in the wall.
live over on
The other time I threw it right at
Twitch
the
and
phone.
TikTok currently.
So that's how
The little linky thing is
so
right
doing that to like talking a
there.
little bit about it. But for me, I find it a lot easier just to piece it all in my head and then figure it out myself in my head. Yeah, and I sometimes I really do have anger issues, but like not as I used to before. Before it was like really bad. It was like terrible. Like I'd fucking be like, fuck you and fuck you and fuck this and fuck that dog. I don't like that
Now,
dog.
let me just throw this out here real fast on you, because now you say that you work through it all personally, with everything else, and that is something that Marie called me out on like 2 years ago, bro. And once I started and I still do it to this day, where I internalize everything and then I compartmentalize it, and then I access it when it's needed and necessary. And you know, eventually you just explode, and Marie gets the brunt of it. And in order to have a functioning relationship with her, I had to fix that, aka cope. No, no offense, but you say that you work through it a lot, but sometimes, and you actually just pointed it out yourself, that there are times where we can see you and it's in your face, and you're in that process of working it out, but that whole process of working it out is, in fact, you know, it's almost like, to us, it's like a cry for help. And oh, when we leave you, sometimes all we can think about is, God damn it, he was so fucking mean. How can we help him? How do we make him smile? Like me and Rob, like, how do we make this guy laugh? No, like it's like that's all we can think about sometimes. Is like, how do we make this guy put a smile on his stupid fucking mug that we love so much? And do you think that it's just affecting you even because you don't tell anybody about it? But in all actuality, if it's affecting us this adversely, I can only imagine one day when your daughter, or do you have a son? I can't remember at this moment in time. I can only imagine. What was it? What
My son.
was the son? Oh, that's even worse. If you have a son and if you don't vocalize your emotions, he's going to grow. This is the detriment of every male. Like 70% of us nowadays, because we were raised by boomers who 90% of them were raised to suppress their emotions. This is our job. We are meant to go through this. And if you do that, if you give this to your child, you are giving that to the next generation. And then until one of them, like me, breaks the cycle and teaches them that our emotions are not something we are meant to internalize and compartmentalize and deal with ourselves. We are meant to share them, because we all need to grow from all these different experiences that you are the only one who gets to go through your experiences. I want to learn from what you've gone through without having to go through it. And the only way that I personally get to learn from those experiences are by you telling me what you've gone through, or with you telling me your stories, and
All right, well, I mean, if you
So-
want me to tell you, if you want me to tell you like my whole life story,
no, from now on, I would like you to tell me your
not my
things.
whole life story, but like one of the major problems growing up, I can express that.
Hey, my kid got out of bed. Just give me. I need 90 seconds, maybe 60.
He's like, no,
Press
hold
your
on.
entire life story into a minute and a half.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. story is pretty much just like from like 12 or no,
Like,
from
this is the
13
reason
to
I'm like this. Like,
Yep. Like
oh, ouch.
a couple seconds, right?
What?
Yeah.
You just cut out horribly.
You just cut out horribly. What?
Your mom cut out horribly.
Yeah.
I have full service right now. I'm sorry. I have made my drive longer because I wanted to stay on here and I don't want to go inside my house.
I mean, I get that completely. We know what's going on your side of the world.
yes, yes.
I'll talk about it.
Dude,
later.
I gotta wait for him to fucking tell this shit.
Just continue. Just go with it.
I'm good. I can hear you. I can
Alright.
hear you. I can hear you.
All right. So growing up, you know, I love my dad and shit, but I love my dad and stuff. He's my dad. He's my father. You know. So at a young age, my mom and him got divorced. My grandpa put my dad in jail because of my dad's first child, which my grandma and grandpa ended up adopting. He's very autistic. I'm not saying that to be like, you know, but like I love him and I have like a connection. Well, my dad got put in jail. I got stuck with my mother. At that young age, you know, I was just like, whatever. You know what I mean? It never really affected me. And then I would go visit my dad sometimes and shit like that at a like a enclosed facility type of thing. So that way there was like a person like there watching and shit like that. And so talking about my life growing up. We have a mental health podcast.
Hello?
That's Chotch.
Okay.
That's Chotch Jr.
Who's Pickle?
Pickles isn't here.
Oh,
That's Lob.
I know.
That's Danny. She's the head mod of everything. And Spawn's not here.
And that's a closet.
Yeah. Spawn is in the closet still. We're trying to get him to come back.
That's his laundry room actually.
Okay.
That's where
Alright,
he
so-
has great dabs.
Come back to what you're doing.
Anyways, as I was saying, so all that leading up, dude, I remember this one memory, dude, like as if it was yesterday. Okay. I remember this one memory as if it were yesterday, that it literally happened yesterday. I remember being at my grandma and grandpa's because my mom lived with them, and so we all lived there. And so she sat me down one night or one day, and she was like, "Do you want to go live with your dad?" And like, you know, I'm a little kid, and you know, I've been with my mom for a while, so I'm like, "Fuck no, I don't want to go live with my dad." And she kept repeating the question until I said yes. So I finally just broke down and just said yes. So I start living with him. Both of my parents are like, fuck my mom. Fuck my mom. Like, I love my mom. I love my mom. I've reached out to her numerous times, but she's stuck in her own little space and stuff. So it was just me and my dad. So my dad wasn't really like, he was there for me. He provided a shelter, food and shit like that. But it was like bouncing from home to home to home to home, like living with other people and shit. And then we would get our own place for a little bit, just to go back to moving in with somebody else. And so at the age of 13, I actually had to start working because just the way he is, unfortunately. I had to start working at the age of 13. Worked at the Forum Family Restaurant. It's a restaurant here, family owned. I got paid under the table. I had to tell everyone that I was 15. And so I worked there from like literally when I was 13 to like high school, a little bit even after high school. And like I had to like pretty much pay for everything myself. There was a couple times where I had to help pay for rent, or there was a couple days, or there was like 1 month where we moved into an actual like a fucking like motel, and we stayed at a motel. And so with that and me going to school and stuff, like it was an every night thing right after school, like right after football practice, I'd go to work. So like realistically, the only time like I could sleep was pretty much in school because I had to stay up late to do my homework. And so like falling asleep in school and shit and not seeing like what the fucking objective is for the day in each class really fucked with me. So I started failing once I got to no, once I got to my senior year, that's when I decided I'm gonna drop out because I mean I had to pay for my own cars, I had to pay for my own gas, and like I had to pretty much take care of myself. And asking that from like fucking 15 till now, I had to pretty much learn everything myself. I didn't have that, really good father figure. I love him. He's my father. He's my dad. He did his best. He could he have done better? Yes. But the way he is, he didn't. That's his choice. I'm still alive to this day. So like I had to figure out everything myself. Obviously there was people in my life that came and went and all that other fun shit and bullshit like that, and they actually gave me some like life tips and shit like that. But then came senior year, I was like already failing, dude, and I haven't even passed first semester. And so as soon as I turned 18, I had a choice. It was either A, I do another year of school, or B, I just gotta drop out and fucking just worry about getting money, taking care of myself until, I am stable enough to go get a GED. So leading up to that, dude, working unemployment and shit really fucks you because you don't have any proof of income, you don't have taxes, and shit like that. So I couldn't get a credit card. I couldn't go get a car. So I had to buy all my cars off of Facebook Marketplace. You know what I mean? So that kind of sucks because I never had a good car. And so as time moves on and stuff, I found JC. JC and I like met like sophomore year, and we got together. We got together in 2018. In 2018, that's when we got together and stuff, and like she knows my story and shit. I've told her everything. Obviously, we're about to hit five years, so she knows my whole story and stuff like that. And so like my boss at the time, he owned his own house, so we lived there. I did, and my dad. My dad got his own room. I got my own room. It was fucking. It was what it is because I mean I had a roof over my head, and then my son was born. Love that little shit, but sometimes. But
That's
and
all
so
kids.
yeah, so like I was stuck because it was like I think it was like through that whole entire first year of him being born, like I was always working at the farm. Now let me remind you, I only had one day off, and I worked 6 days a week from 11 o'clock to 9 p.m. So I didn't have time to, you know, fucking hang out with him. Like I would go over there and hang out with them, go to sleep, wake up, and immediately have to leave for work. That's how it went. And so it really got really stressful because like I know what she wanted and stuff like that. I'm still here trying to grow up, and then there was one day where I just sat I had to sit back and I just like, you know, brought myself together and I was like, I really don't want to be like I don't want to have my son grow up the way I had to grow up and stuff like that. So luckily for me, the apartment that I'm in now was able to take like pay receipt of my employment, and so I got us into this apartment, and that was like the whole first step. I got us in here, worked a couple months.
You can use your bank account as payment.
Okay, Spawn, I didn't know this. I did not know this.
It's just for your future reference. I just want you to know that you can use 6 months of your bank account and you can make them fake. I can actually help you with that.
Anyways, moving forward. So I finally got us this apartment and stuff, and I worked a couple months more at the forum. And then like her and I was just talking, I was like, I need to get out. Because I can't get a car. Credit's shit. And I can't get a credit card because my credit's shit. And like it was just so stressful and stuff, and I didn't want to buy another car off Facebook Marketplace. And so like and then moving on forward, I quit the forum. I went to my new job, been there for almost a year. I went from making $20 base pay to now making $27 within a whole year. It hasn't even been a full year yet. It's been like since from April of last year till now, however many months that is. That's like 9 months or 10 months or some shit like that. And so we're here. I finally got a car, and then my credit is actually at now like 650, I believe. And then eventually, here within this year, we will be getting a house. I told you guys this already
Yep.
and stuff like that. And so that's the next step. But like, I pretty much had to figure everything out growing up myself. And that's a struggle. I mean, I know most people actually have to do that themselves as well. But since we were talking about my story, I figured I'd let you know.
Everybody's unique.
No, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. With how you express some things. Honestly, I think it probably made you a hell of a lot stronger person than having everything handed to you. And obviously, like, you had to figure it all out, and you're still figuring shit out. Where even if, like, flip the script, you had the best parents in the fucking world, they taught you everything, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Never had to worry about shit in your life. You're still learning, no matter what. Still, you'd still be like when Bo was on a couple weeks ago, and just like Bo grew up in his dad's a preacher, grew up in a good family, good home, all that stuff. Still deals with depression, still deals with anxiety, still deals with all that same shit. It's not exclusive. That's, I think, the whole point is it's not exclusive to just one grouping of people. It's legitimately like this shit affects everyone, and it's how you cope with it, how you deal with it, your support system. You're not alone. That's the most important part. Each person on here isn't on here just for shits and grins. Each person on here has a story that each one of us has told. And I love that you came on and decided to share tonight. Honestly, I absolutely I'm kind of thrilled with that. Like,
A long time coming, man.
yes, I know, and some people, then that's the thing. It's that, like, legit, like, it has to be a small weight off your shoulder. Like what Spawn said. Do you feel better? Honestly,
Yeah, I do feel a little bit better.
like, sometimes us sharing it with your guys that you legitimately talk to every single day. I mean, we're here for you.
I miss you guys.
We're not done yet, just so everybody knows. And I have one more thing.
What do you got? What you got, girl?
Oh, no. There's one more. In the middle of Twisted joining, we have my second Twist.
Yes, the brain is here. Does the brain want to share?
The competitive arm of my appendages, if you will. Hey, Mr. Brain, how are you?
Man,
If Brain wants to come and talk.
I just wanted you to know that I see you there, and that you are more than welcome to join.
I don't know what he's doing. I think he's cooking.
I wanted him to know that he was mentioned. He was invited to talk. We would love to hear him.
He's always and that's the thing. Y'all know that everyone is welcome to this. This is not exclusive to just our group. That goes for the TikTok peoples. That goes for the Twitchy people. That goes for my YouTubers. Come on, talk. Get your shit out. It makes you feel better.
In the description, is that how they would join?
Yep. Invite is in the description at all times on all my TikToks. They are all out there on all of our videos, on everything. Join the Discord. Come on to talk. Get these things off your chest. You're going to feel, one, a hell of a lot better. Two, you're going to meet a shit ton of people. You're going to make new friends that can help you through this shit. That's the most important part to me, is legitimately, if I didn't have all of you guys on top of my support with Carly, I mentioned she's not right there tonight, but but if I didn't have all of these supports in my life, I would be a depressed ball of shit. Plain and simple. Like, I know, like, we can go down the fucking list. Bob, where would you be at if you didn't have a support system or life that you could talk to at any given moment of any given day? Exactly. You don't even need to say it. Just the laugh there is fucking. Yeah, I know. I get it. Spawn, where the fuck would you be without a support system?
That'd be in silence.
Boy. Boy.
I'd be on my bed.
Yeah, I know. I've had to kick your ass out of that bed numerous times. I know. I know when you're feeling like shit. Danny.
Just laying.
Danny, where would you be without a support system?
I probably would be somewhere.
Yeah.
I went through like a lot as a kid, and if I didn't have, my family or even my boyfriend that I've known
Yeah.
for such a long time, I probably would still be here.
Yeah. Chewbacca, where would you be?
Who the fuck's Chewbacca?
Chewbacca, look at him. He's hairy.
Fucking.
Say hi to the Chewbacca, everyone. I love it. Dude. I'm fucking. I'm just as hairy. So don't. There's no shame. Zero fucking shame.
Sadly, I figured out my own issues when I was younger. I didn't necessarily have a support system, so it wouldn't be too much different other than I found somebody that actually cares about me.
And have a
That's fair. Exactly. Like, some people have it figured out. Some people don't. It's awesome.
Even if
Spawn.
you haven't figured out, there's always a better way. That's the beauty of life, is that there's so many people here. There are billions of us now. And if you go to places like India, China, places that are heavily populated, they've had so many people there, such a concentrated conglomerate of thought processes, that there's always something new to learn. There's always a different way, and there's always a different way that'll work better than the one that you already have for you. It doesn't mean that you go on searching for another one. That just means that you understand that if one way doesn't work for you, you can always change it. It can work for you for now, but that doesn't mean it has permanent residency. So.
I swear to God, Spawn. Sometimes I actually do think you read the dictionary just for fun.
He's a smart fucking cookie, dude.
When I was a child, one of my punishments was rewriting the dictionary word by word, sentence by sentence, including the pronunciations.
Danny's face says that all. Look at that. Like, what the fuck?
So, anytime I'm trying to spell something, right? I always how do I spell this? How do I pronounce this? Use my dictionary.
Oh shit! I grab my phone and spell check that shit, or like literally like verbalize it, and I'm just like blah 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 blah. How do you spell blah? And then it spells it for you, or it goes question marks because you have no fucking clue how it thinks you're drunk or something.
I have some pretty harsh punishments.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I loved coming in here, but I do have to get some practice in.
Yep, you guys got practice. We're gonna end this bad boy. We kept it at an hour. I love it. I knew that saying a half an hour would get us an hour.
Well, it's
little reverse psychology.
We actually would have ended it at about 35 minutes, I think.
35 minutes and Twisted joined. Yep, and we talked about some really cool other stuff on top of it because he hasn't been here to actually introduce himself either. So
I have not. Here, I'll go ahead and do it.
We didn't talk about anything illegal either.
I am ex-Twisted Fusion / Fusions. I'd rather go Fusions now. And I am 1/4 owner of SCLX Gaming. And what we do here, right? What we do here is a lot of stuff, and I can't tell you unless you join. So
join.
I'm gonna go do crack.
No, you're not. I will stab you.
That's what you
I can't say that on there. I can't
I-
say that, or yeah.
You will lose your teeth.
Anyway,
Just letting
now
you
that
know.
we're all here, I just want everyone to know that this year is going to be a good year.
This year's going to be a good year. There's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of things that I think we're going to be announcing next episode. That's one of them. Yeah, next episode will be in 2 weeks.
Projects going on.
Yeah, you two need to fucking like actually connect. Like,
I feel like that's on Lob. You know what I mean?
it's on both of them. They're like the same fucking person.
I'm gonna pin it on Lob.
You guys are the same. You're literally the same fucking person, and I
No,
hate
no,
you.
no. It's on
just
Lob,
wanna
bro.
point this
It's like every time I died on Rebirth, it was Lob's fault, dude.
Of course it was. It wasn't your fault for going off and fucking,
It was.
when Lob and I are in fucking game, like